Hey guys, El Flamingo here, your coach of the Kooparoo Crabhammers. Today's video, we're going to go through the team I just drafted for the Factory Draft League Season 5. Now, Factory Draft League is a singles league, 6v6, as opposed to the 4v4 VGC draft leagues that I've done in the past. So, being something I haven't done before, I had no real idea going in. I knew a couple of pieces that I wanted to run with, and some things that seem a bit quite needed. Things like Volt Switch, U-Turn, Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin or Defog, stuff like that. Toxic, everything gets toxic, so that doesn't matter. So yeah, let's go through the team I picked, and we'll go through what I like about them, and yeah, let's have a look. So the other thing I want you to do is I want you to comment below if you know what theme I'm going for with their nicknames. Okay, so first up we have Celesteela. Celesteela's nickname is Carbon Rod. So I wanted to take Celesteela straight off the bat, because it's quite a versatile mon in terms of it can be offensive or defensive. With its ability Beast Boost, I will get increases in whatever stat is highest on Celesteela. So the good thing about Celly is you can have its attack, its special attack, its defense or special defense the highest. So whenever I get a kill, I'm going to get a boost to one of my stats, but also it's just got really good typing. Only weak to fire and electric. And it's only a single resistance. So I think you can build around it quite well in terms of finding mons that can take those hits. It's also the start of a Steel Dragon Fairy core. So yeah, let's get on to my second pick. So I was actually going for Celesteela, this next mon, and then a third mon as a bit of a core, because I actually was thinking about it. It worked quite well together, but I missed one of them. So anyway, our next one is Quillfish. Quillfish, as you know, is my favourite mon. Got him up on the shirt there. Should probably be wearing it instead of it hanging on my wall. Quillfish nickname is Fugu. So it's a water and poison type. It is really good as a supportive mon, but, you know, base 95 attack, it can do a bit of damage as well. So it has great moves for singles like Toxic Spikes, can run Haze, can run Destiny Bond, Scold. So it's got quite a lot of options it can use. Really good Toxic user, has that Intimidate to lower the opponent's attack. But if I come up against a raid team, I can also run Swift Swim on it if I feel it's necessary. So let's go on to my next mon. I actually forget what its nickname is. Oh yeah, okay. The next mon is called Bort. It's our Latias. So I wanted something that was fairly fast and could hit fairly hard. Latios has base 130 special attack and has 110 speed, so that's pretty good. The third mon I was actually going for was Dugtrio, because Celesteela, Quillfish, and Dugtrio all kind of covered each other's weaknesses pretty well. But I got Latios anyway, because I didn't get Dugtrio, so I thought I'll go for a hard hitter now, and Latios is pretty bloody good in that department. Also pretty bulky, so you can run bulky sets on it too. Has access to defog, so get rid of those spikes and stealth rocks and all that kind of garbage. Can also boost up with calm mines and that sort of stuff. Our next mon is called Whacking Day, and it's Sandaconda. So Sandaconda is my ground type to make up for the lack of Dugtrio. I quite like Sandaconda in singles, because I've just been watching some videos of people using it, and because of its really good abilities in Sand Spit and Shed Skin, it can do quite a lot of work in the singles format. Plus, you have things like body pressing, iron defense sets. You can go quite offensive with it with its base 107 attack. It has you can run rest on it because it has that shed skin ability, so it loses that status. Can run stealth rock, so I think this is going to be quite a good mon for my team. Next up, we have Rotom Heat, whose nickname is Luigi R or Luigi Risotto. So he is a good counter to Celesteela, but he's also a good defensive switch-in for Celesteela as well. So I got him. Can resist both the fire and the electric attacks aimed at the Celesteela. So can the Latios for that matter. So I thought it would be a good one to pick up and be the second mon of my Firewater Grass Core. I've got my 2 mons for the Steel Dragon Fairy Core, so things are coming on quite nicely there. Has Defog again, has Toxic, has Will-O-Wisp, has Volt Switch, has Trick, has Screen. So there's lots going for Rotom Heat, or Rotoms in general. So our next mon is Thwackey. Lots of people were going for Rillaboom and Tapu Bulu, and there was a couple of people eyeing off Thwackey. So I thought I'd sneak in and get him. Completes my Firewater Grass Core. Gives me a bit of terrain control as well, so I can now run a defensive seed on a grassy seed on one of my mons to boost their defense. Has access to Grassy Glide, so I can pick off mons late game or take out some Watermons early on. Also has Knockoff to disrupt, has U-turn, so we're getting that Volt Switch and U-turn happening now. So I thought that was quite a good pickup. It's my only Eviolite user on the team. I don't like having too many Eviolite users. Well, not so much in this because we can use multiple of the same items, but in VGC you can only use one Eviolite. So if you have 2 or 3 Eviolite mons, then you're kind of stuffed there. Hold on, Tick, I'll be back in a... Sorry about that. So I'm back. So yeah, I thought if I got an Eviolite mon, Thwackey would be good. It was only 2 points. So yeah, our next mon is it completes our Dragon Steel Fairy Core. Oh, and by the way, Thwackey's nickname is Mr. Teeny. I have Gardevoir nicknamed Dignity. So Gardevoir is Fairy and Psychic, so I've doubled up on my Psychic types. I did notice I'm starting to build a bit of a Ghost weakness, so we address that later on in the draft. So Gardevoir is really good offensively, with I think a base 115 or 125 base special attack, but it's also super specially bulky as well. So it's going to be quite a good mon. It could be played offensive, like I said, or it can be played really support. Gets moves like Wish and Teleport and Heal Bell. So it can be quite the cleric for the team. Yeah, so let's move on to our next one. So like I said, I was starting to build up a bit of a dark and ghost weak team. So my next mon, I knew I wanted to deal with that. So I picked up Beware, because Beware is immune to ghost moves, but also resists dark moves. Beware is normal and fighting type, and his nickname is Bobo. And I like Beware. I qualified for the first Players' Cup using a Beware team. Instead of having a Conkeldurr and a Snorlax on my team to cover my weaknesses, I just slapped Beware onto the team, and it worked really well. It was started off as a triple Ghost Core. Has moves like Taunt. Also just has a really big attack stat, and also has really high HP, pretty good defense, quite low SPDEF, but you can make up for that. Access to moves like Drain Punch, Close Combat, Double Edge, Facade if they want to try and burn me. Steel moves, the Elemental Punches. So it's got lots and lots of coverage. And depending on the team, I could see this putting in a lot of work. Our next mon is Drapion. His nickname is Linguo. So another ghost and dark resistance there. My second ground weak mon. But the good thing is my electric and my fire type are both immune to ground, and so is my steel type. So my only ground weaknesses are my Quillfish and my Drapion. So Drapion has access to moves like Whirlwind, so I can phase the opponent out. I can also set up Toxic Spikes, have Stab Knockoff, can run Scope Lens Sects to get heaps of damage off onto the opponent. Again, and it can get rid of Toxic Spikes if the opponent puts it up. So this is really starting to make my team not Toxic Spike weak, because I've got at the moment 3 Pokemon off the ground, so they can't get poisoned by it, and I've got 2 poison types. So Toxic Spikes has become not a good strategy against my team. Plus I've got, Beware with Facade, Stab Facade. If you poison me, it's going to be doing big damage. Our next one is Delmise, nickname Horatio, because there's a sea captain called Horatio. And I got this because I did have defog users, but I wanted a rapid spinner as well in case I didn't want to get rid of my my stealth rocks or my spikes or toxic spikes or whatever it may be. And I needed a rapid spin blocker. So it does both those. It blocks rapid spin since it's a ghost type, but also lets me use rapid spin. Has access to other cool moves like Grassy Glide, which I can use the grassy terrain from my Thwacky to set up. Has Pain Split, has lots of really cool niche little moves that I can tech on. So this will be one to keep an eye out for, is the Delmise. And lastly, but not least, is my Dynamax captain. So in singles, Dynamax is absolutely busted because you can just get a lot of damage off real quick and just steamroll the opposing team. So to combat this, for this league, they've done a point system from 1 to 20, and you have 125 points, I think, to draft your Mons. But you then can spend between 1 and 5 points to get what's called a max captain. So you can only pick from those 1 to 5 pointers, and not your big 20 pointers. So you're not going to see Celesteela max, you're not going to see Latios max, but you are going to see my 4-pointer, Crustle max. Crustle, also known as Mr. Sparkles, is a bug and rock type. So this is another stealth rock user for me. Has access to some pretty cool boosting moves like Iron Defense. Plus it also has great coverage in ground, fighting, steel, rock, bug. So it has a really good move pool as well. Plus Shell Smash. If I can get a Shell Smash off and then max this thing, whew, GG's. So this is my team. I don't know how I'm going to go. I'm not super fast on my team. My fastest being Latios, but it's my only one that's over 100 base speed. Everything else is like 80s and 70s and 60s. So, yeah, I've got no idea what I'm doing. I'm just going to kind of rock in with what I think's the best team and hope for the best. So the battles start on the 14th. What's the date today? So it's the 10th. So the battles start in about 4 days' time. My first opponent is, I do have it here somewhere. Hold on. My first opponent, I've only got their initials written down here, but CWM is the initials for the team. They're running a Hawlucha, Tapu Bulu, Ferroseed, Cloyster, Avalugg, Grimmsnarl, Flygon, Chansey, Porygon Z, Executor, Kanto form, and Golbat. And I'm not quite sure who their Dynamax candidate is. So have a quick look on the Clear Water Magma. So Clearwater Magma, and I do not know who their Dynamax captain is, which is the one mon that they are allowed to max. So, yeah. So keep an eye out for that, guys. I don't really know what I'm doing in singles. To be honest with you, I don't really know what I'm doing in VGC either, but I know marginally more in VGC. So, yeah. we'll just see how I go. I was invited to join, so I thought, fuck it, why not? So I've joined. So that's it for this video, guys. So like, comment, subscribe. If you know what the theme of my nicknames are, those were Celesteela, Carbon Rod, the Celesteela, Fugu, the Quillfish, Bort, the Latios, Whacking Day, the Sandaconda, Luigi R, the Rotom Heat, Mr. Teeny, the Thwacky, Dignity, the Gardevoir, Bobo, the Beware, Linguo, the Drapion, Horatio, the Delmise, and Mr. Sparkle, the Crustle. So leave a comment below, guys. What is the theme to my nicknames? Have a good one, guys. I shall be uploading my PBK Grand Final match against Casper Dynamax. That might actually be up before this video. So wish me luck. All right, guys. Have a good one.